Welcome to the Flame Central Game Day post-game show brought to you by Frank Good Builders. Liberty Flames survive a tough one at home, winning by a score of 42-35. Rhett McGibbon here alongside Pat Kelly, Joe Yock. One thing I will say, we had William Byron on in the pregame show. The motors were revving offensively in this game. Oh, my goodness. Points galore, but really this was a story of surviving and advancing for LU.
Yeah, I mean, I'm exhausted, right?
I bet.
I mean, that's a little much. And,
Yeah.
and you know, it was one of those things that was that perfect recipe. And that is, you play all this in the third game. Talk about we got to come out and play. It's the third game. I know it's in a very short period of time, and they were flat. And the defense was flat for that whole first half into the third quarter. And what you saw, sometimes Rhett McGibbon, Pat Kelly, sometimes you got to drive the pipe a little bit deeper. And it was one of those times. Like, yeah, it's not moving. There's nothing there. They're flat. They're just taking on blocks, and they're not really doing anything with them. They're getting beat over the top for touchdowns. And then sooner or later, you got to make the decision. We got to get a stop. We got to man up, and they finally did it. And they did it when it counted. Because they're college football players. They're not going to go through an entire season and not have a few ups and downs. They had some downs. They battled through it, and that's what matters.
As a respected colleague of mine said, I believe earlier in the week, it is, don't worry about how rocky the seas are. Just bring the ship to port.
Yes!
I believe that was the quote.
Yes!
And it doesn't matter how, though. We were bouncing in that boat, but they made it. I'm also wearing this jacket because the Flames were very cold tonight. I mean, my gosh, that was terrifying. But
Joe, you said earlier you thought it would be a closer game. You had Liberty winning by a field goal. They went by 7.
Yeah.
What was it leading into this that you thought this was going to be a much tighter knit contest?
Yeah, I mean, I just thought with the teams that they had played and how that they were getting better and better. And the things we talked about in the pregame show, that's a really good core group of receivers. And Nicky could sling that football. I mean, he was throwing right. And then I didn't realize, like, when you get down on that field and you watch Metcalf run, that guy can run.
Yeah, he can wheel.
And so you saw that this is a team that had a lot of potential. Their issue was that their D-line was beat up. And, we'll throw up the stats here in a second, but Liberty rushed for 400 yards. And you could see that D-line could not handle the running game that Liberty had. But it was one of those where it's going to come down to a defensive turnover, and thankfully, Liberty got the ones and the stop at the end.
All right, before we get to the stats, let's take a look here at our Finks Jewelers game highlights. And right off the bat, it was a pick for Salter, led to great field position for Nicky V.
Yeah, never ideal when you have one play, your time of possession, there's 4 seconds, you give it back to them. I mean, that's exactly what you don't want to do. We said in the pregame, take care of the football. They very much did not do that on the first drive, and they just dink and dunked all the way down the field. Some missed tackles led to some scores early on.
Yeah, and then a big problem for Liberty, and you can see right there, run the ball at the middle with Cooley. They did that all night long, but the big problem for Liberty defensively was on the interior of the defensive line. There's obviously Billy Coolhan Lucas with another touchdown, but was the defensive line, and that was an unbalanced formation right there. They had Liberty called a timeout. They still didn't adjust to it, run the toss sweep for the touchdown, but tackling on the perimeter was not good at all today.
Yeah, that was really bad to see. They threw a couple smoke screens, a couple bubble screens out there, and Liberty just was not able to get there and make the tackles. And then you got some shots over the top getting beat. That passing attack was really lethal tonight.
Yeah, Liberty DB struggled with the speed at times. There's Henshaw.
Take a ride in my Bentley Henshaw.
Was that a touchdown?
That's a touchdown.
Oh, 100% touchdown.
But that one, like this place right here, just tackling on the perimeter, able to take a simple bubble screen and take it 70-plus yards for a touchdown.
Looks like he's running the 100-meter dash there, crossing the tape. I mean, nobody within 60 yards. That was pretty bad. But again, we're going back to Quentin Cooley. This dude is doing everything for the offense tonight.
Cooley. And then Cooley. And then, hey, big play, knock the ball out, create turnovers happen, and then we can get on the corners, we can get on the secondary, all that you want. But when it came down to crunch time, Hodge got the nice pick, and then Brylan Green ends the game with another pick. And then C.J. Daniels obviously hitting the big post plays. Nice ball by Salter for the touchdown.
That was an absolute dime. I was glad to see that we took that deep shot there. He actually held the ball a little bit longer than I thought, but, it ended up being a touchdown, and then you get the huge interception toward the end of the game there.
Yeah.
Obviously, they would get another chance to drive back down. Then you see, I think it was Brylan Green sealing the deal there with another interception.
And I'll tell you what, too, I was very interested to see how would Liberty defend them down the stretch when it really counted, especially on that last drive on 3rd and 4th down. They made the decision, we're going to play man coverage across the board, and we're going to bring guys. As a defensive coordinator, Kyle Krantz calling the defense, that is a tough thing to do, and he did it, he believed in his players, and they executed it.
Yeah, great stuff. All right, here's our game stats presented by Haley's Appliances. You mentioned it, Joe, the rushing yards for LU, 401.
That's a lot of yards.
I'd be curious to know the last time Liberty ran for 400 yards in a
now,
game.
With that being said, guys, I did text Matt Warner during the first quarter of the game. I said, Liberty's going to run for 500 yards. I was 99 short. Shoot.
We got a bromance going on there. That's for sure. Turnovers, 3-2. Leading in that category was Middle Tennessee. All right, Brylan Green. I would have loved to have done a package on him, but this young man, oh my goodness, he punches it out, forced fumble, then the pick late stages. NFL prospect in the making here?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I mean, you just look at how athletic he is and how well he moves his hips and is able to come off the hash and make plays. And then most importantly for Brylan Green is his instincts. He has great instincts. He knows where the football is. He knows how to look off quarterbacks and then come back to the other side. So overall, I mean, he's just, not only is he athletic, he has such great instincts and natural talent, I think gives him an opportunity to play at the next level.
Yeah, I'm going to trust the LU coaching staff. I think Coach Chadwell and other coaches have said this is a guy that if he dedicates his time to football, he can be one that plays on Sundays.
Yeah, a lot of fun to watch him so far this season. All right, turnovers galore in this game. As I mentioned, 5 total. We'll take a look at them here. And early on, all in favor of Middle Tennessee. And that really, as you mentioned, gave them great field position multiple times.
Yeah, really.
Go ahead, Ben. No,
really not a great start to the game. You know, I said before the game and then ended up looking foolish. You know, this is a team that will turn the ball over. Liberty's been great at not doing that. Protect the ball, you're going to be okay. Lots of turnovers for Liberty tonight. Almost came back to bite them.
There was Brylan Green with the punch out, forcing the fumble, and truly that started to turn the momentum for the defense.
Yeah, that was obviously a huge play. You could almost feel it starting to slip away, and then it was that turn. But that's how it's played. That's why you just got to keep showing up. You got to keep battling. You got to keep competing. And when you do that, sooner or later, it's when you walk around with your head down, you get down on yourselves. You know, bad things snowball. But if you just keep competing, you get the punch out, you get the turnover. Next thing you know, you could really through that play could feel the momentum change in the ball game.
Guys, it wasn't necessarily the same level of drama as Sam Houston State, but we had some more bend and don't break defense tonight.
I
mean, they stood up when they needed to.
I was going to say that's going to be like the tattoo here soon. Bend don't break. It has been the case. All right, Quentin
You can
Cooley.
put that over top of your big barbed wire tattoo you got around your arm.
Oh, yeah, you
right.
know.
I know how you go.
And
sure.
mom on
How did you know? No. Quentin Cooley, a guy that should be getting spoken about when it comes to Conference USA MVP. He was at it again tonight. He carried the Flames on his back in the first half offensively.
Yeah, I mean, I really felt as if they could run the ball between the tackles, and Quentin Cooley's the exact guy to do that. And you can see right here is that our offensive line really bullied their defensive line. And then when you have a big, strong back like Cooley, he's able to pick. If you watch it, he always breaks a tackle, puts his shoulder down, bounces around, goes under the end zone, gives it a flex right there. He's feeling it. He's feeling it. And that's a tough, what did you call him again? The cowbell. Right?
Yes.
the bell cow.
The bell cow.
Bell cow.
The bell cow running back. Cowbell, bell cow. All kinds
Now
of
brow cow. Yes. No, just a great performance tonight by Cooley. And again, he leading back for LU. Since the injury to Blue Vaughn, he has really stepped up in a big way for the Flames, and it's been impressive to see. You kind of knew, I was excited this year when I was like, all right, we got a power back coming in. It had been a while since we had a true power back, and he has lived up to all my expectations in that regard.
The one thing I want to call out is that in the last 2 games, he's carried the ball 52 times.
Good
like,
grief,
did someone pay for this man's masseuse?
Yeah.
Get him a cold tub? Like, he's
Part
going
of
to
his
need it.
NIL deal.
For sure. There's no doubt about that. Perry
Cold
Pools
tub.
and Spas,
Perry
I think.
Pools,
Yeah.
cold tubs, massages,
Yeah, I mean, this guy
everything.
he's toting the rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Couldn't be more
been
impressed.
great. Yeah, for sure. All right, upcoming schedule presented by Lynchburg Airport and Tourism. When you look at this, you kind of breathe a sigh of relief. You take down Middle Tennessee, but next up, it doesn't get any easier. The matchup that everybody had marked on their calendars all season long.
Circle it, baby. Circle it.
Flames heading out to Hilltopper country.
Guys, do we want a live update here on...
No, not yet. We're going to do that in a second. Let the fans
hold on.
bated breath. Okay,
Yeah, hold the fans
okay.
bated breath.
You got a
Hold on.
smile on your face, so I like it. I like the way that's going. Then coming up, next game at home for the Liberty Flames is against Louisiana Tech. Louisiana Tech losing to Middle Tennessee. USC just this past week. That one on CBS Sports Network as well. ODU will follow that up on November 11th. And then so on and so forth. Flames close out the season against UMass and UTEP. Okay, out-of-town scoreboard. We're going to pop it up right here. Bring us the goods, Pat Kelly. What's going on?
We don't know. It's this all you, Pat. You are the only one who knows this information.
So we're breaking some news currently. There's nothing finalized yet. There is a minute and 5 seconds left to go in the Western Kentucky Jacksonville State game. The score is 17-17. Jacksonville State has the ball on the Western Kentucky 20-yard line.
Let's go, Jack State.
2nd and 13.
Am I allowed to say that? I guess I am, right? Yeah, I am in this one.
You're
at home, because I want home field advantage for.
Listen, here's how you get home
the
field
CUSA champion. I know you beat them. Okay, Joe.
There, you go down there. You take care of your business. You make it a business trip. You take care of your business, and then you get on the plane and get back home.
Hey, well, the one thing I do want to say is with this Western Kentucky team, there are some things to fix in the secondary from Liberty tonight because facing Reed and Corley, that receiver.
I think the same thing, Pat Kelly.
That dude is a monster.
Yeah.
And if we don't get some things shored up, they're going to go for 400 passing yards.
You're thinking Corley, second-round NFL pick, you were saying.
So a lot of the draft projections so far have him being like a second-ish round pick. So
you serious, Clark?
What are you saying?
What movie is that from, Brett?
I don't know.
Come on,
Vacation. Remember. What are you talking about, Wes?
Yeah, that's Cousin Eddie. You serious, Clark?
I'm serious. I'm sorry.
Real tomato ketchup, huh, Eddie?
Okay. Once again, we'll be back.
It's going sideways, Rat.
It's going downhill
quick.
going
sideways.
November 5th, Louisiana Tech coming into Lynchburg. That's the next time we'll be back here at home. For Pat and Joe, I'm Rhett. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great night. God bless.